Jedi Fallen Order modding seems to be getting better and better each week. Someone put Darth Vader in Jedi Fallen Order, a playable Darth Vader. And just seeing this makes me wonder what it'd be like if we got a Darth Vader game. A game fully dedicated to playing as Darth Vader, following the Emperor's orders and helping to strengthen the newly established Empire. I'll talk more about that idea in a bit. Hey everyone, it's Andrew. So today we're going to put Fallen Order Vader through a series of tests, face off against a few different enemies in the battle grid mode, do some crazy modding, and also get Vader to face off against himself. This is kind of like the cave scene with Luke, only instead of Luke's face behind the mask, Vader would see this. Yes, this mod is a little rough around the edges and far from perfect. It was created by a modder named Alex Poe, and on the mod page it even says it's difficult to do much more than this with Vader at the moment in Fallen Order. This isn't a custom mesh port where the modders bring new designed assets into the game. I think the way this mod works is by taking the Vader assets already in the game from the mission in the story and applying them to Cal. The Vader mod is still the same height as Cal, the helmet can be a little glitchy, he doesn't wear a cape, and his face looks like this. Also, you can mess around with ponchos and outfits and customize and make your own nightmarish version that looks like an alien from Rick and Morty. But once you select Cal's base clothes and apply a darker paint job to BD1 and use another mod to change your lightsaber to a red blade, unless you're playing on New Journey Plus, in which case you can just use Cal's Inquisitor blade, the effect is okay. He looks somewhat like Vader, and while you're at it, you may as well change your ship to black as well, you know, fit with the character. Vader flies a black ship because he's Darth Vader. I guess we'll go with that. And you can also play around with lightsaber customization, try and get it to look like Vader's hilt. I think the Valor and Wisdom emitter is probably the closest to Vader's, but I also just made the whole thing black. Because you know it's Vader, he likes black, he likes a ship black, he likes his lightsaber black. I mean, after Revenge of the Sith, he could have customized his suit, made it any color he wanted, but no, he stuck with black. That should be an option in the Vader game I'm talking about, suit customization. Play the entire game as a pink Darth Vader. I'm joking, that's a horrendous idea. You don't change Vader. When playing as Vader, I tried to only use single-bladed attacks, but sometimes this got a little tricky and I'd accidentally jump around with the split blades, or when I'd perform a lightsaber throw, he'd throw one blade and block incoming blast fire with the other, and I'm like, come on Vader, you only have one blade, stop showing off. Also, this Vader obviously moves exactly like Cal, so trying to replicate Vader's style while Cal is, you know, bouncing around wasn't that easy. I will say this though, pulling a stormtrooper towards me by the throat and holding him at my mercy felt very Vader. This is Rogue One hallway scene right here. Playing through an actual level as Vader does make me wonder how a Darth Vader game would work. Obviously, these levels in Fallen Order were designed for Cal to explore and are heavy on the jumping, climbing mechanics, and this doesn't really suit Vader's character. Vader is a much slower, heavier mover, although he's very deadly. What Cal has in speed and flexibility, Vader has in sheer strength and power. I'm just thinking more of Battlefront 2's Vader and the way that hero works. He moves slower, can take more damage, but also deals high amounts of damage and immobilizes enemies with his force choke. You know, there'll be a group of enemies all around him, he activates the force choke, suddenly they can't do anything about it. Playing an entire game like this, I think could be really fun, but the game would have to include a full range of Vader's abilities. I feel like it'd be much less an exploration game and more of a Vader moves through these certain challenges and levels. Perhaps Vader would work somewhere between his Battlefront 2 version and Starkiller from the Force Unleashed games. Ridiculous power, the ability to pick up objects and hurl them with great speed and strength, but just not as ridiculous as Starkiller. You know, bringing it down a bit. Vader's not going to be pulling any Star Destroyers from the sky. I think we've seen the capability of modern single-player Star Wars adventures with Fallen Order, and this game was the most well-received Star Wars game in a long time. I don't even know how long, probably well over 10 years. Just think of the potential of future similar Star Wars titles. Vader's game could feature his fortress on Mustafar. This could possibly be one of the game's hub locations. Vader would could travel between Star Destroyers, oversee the construction of the Death Star, assist in hunting down surviving Jedi. It's interesting how this period in the Star Wars timeline after Order 66 and before A New Hope is one of the most popular. So much happens, and I feel like so many of us want to continue seeing this particular time period explored. Fallen Order obviously is set 5 years after Order 66. The Force Unleashed is set at a similar time. You have Rogue One, you have other titles coming in. We saw what happened with the end of the Clone Wars season. It's all about the end of the Clone Wars and the fall of the Jedi. It's really just all about that and the rise of Vader and the Empire. There's lots of stories to be told here, and it'd be great to play through Vader's perspective of that, or just after that. Even the Vader Immortal VR game is kind of around these similar themes. Vader's longing for Padme. These could be all themes of the Vader game. They're all set around that similar time period after the fall of the Jedi. I think a video game centered around Darth Vader would have to give Vader the presence he has in Fallen Order. The kind of power where Cal isn't even given a chance to fight Vader. This is the type of respect Vader's power deserves. He is that all-powerful character that's basically untouchable, and this is what we also see in action at the end of Rogue One, killing everyone in his path. But he also has his sensitive side, sensitive to Padme and to his past, to his mother, and his manipulation by the Emperor. I think a game that makes you feel all of these things would be right for Vader, except against more difficult enemies and bosses, you'd still struggle and you'd still have to battle through those, but this is the kind of Vader game I would want to play. What if parts of it were even focused around your decisions, Vader having to choose who to attack, what plan of action to take around capturing a rogue Jedi, allowing for some player choice. You know, it'd be cool to see that kind of Mass Effect style put in there. Obviously, that's a whole nother idea that turns it into a much larger game, but there's lots of ideas here, lots to be explored with Vader. So, Vader versus Vader, the cave scene revisited and reworked. Even though the body shape and posture are all wrong, it's pretty cool seeing some version of Vader walking towards you as an enemy. He's a Vader imposter, let's go with that. It's like some weird Vader clone with a double-bladed lightsaber and Inquisitor armor. And he feels the most Vader when he's walking slowly towards you, menacingly. Also, the saber throw is one of Vader's abilities, so there's that too. And I think it'd be so incredible to see the actual Darth Vader brought to the Combat Challenges game mode in Fallen Order. Even if he's invincible like Jaro Tapal, I think he should be invincible if Vader's going to be in this game mode. Cal can't beat Vader in any mode, story or not. It's not in Cal's character to defeat Vader, but I eventually defeated the imposter Vader with my Cal Darth Vader, so... Vader facing 100 stormtroopers, this is the type of fight I'd want to see in a Darth Vader game, completely outnumbered, but still absolutely destroys his enemies, especially when you can sense their fear. Also, facing other bosses, just the presence of Vader makes you feel like you're going to win, like anyone you're up against has really a huge thing to be afraid of. You're not going to beat Vader. Facing 5 Inquisitor Vaders was quite ridiculous, as you can imagine. Took me about 10 minutes to wear them all down and eventually get the win. I think I was playing with infinite health though, so there's that. But it's fun. But to be honest, just facing Cal's Force Slow ability, especially when there's 5 enemies all using it on you at the same time, gets really frustrating because you constantly feel like you can't move. It was interesting seeing a Vader version of Cal using this. And here I have a Clone Trooper mod on, and I'm using Cheat Engine to modify the amount of enemies in the game. This feels like a mission Vader is on to hunt down a defective clone legion that didn't obey Order 66, like the clone's microchips malfunctioned. Playing these kinds of battles makes me dream. Just think about it. So many ideas for a Vader game. It'd be awesome to see something like this done, but just a concept for now. Who knows? Maybe in future a Vader game could become a reality. I'm sure lots of fans would want to see that. I mean, Vader's possibly one of the most popular Star Wars characters ever, and with the potential of single-player Star Wars games on full display with Fallen Order, I think things can only get better from here and they can only expand out from this game. It's also interesting to wonder how careful Lucasfilm are when handling Vader. I get the impression that they only want to use him sparingly and keep him for special moments like Rogue One, like the ending of Fallen Order. They wouldn't want to overuse Vader for fear of people getting tired of the character, and I think they're quite careful about maintaining his character as this almighty, untouchable beast. Perhaps by giving players control of Vader, they'd be relinquishing their control of the character, and players would be able to put Vader in ridiculous single-player situations that they wouldn't want to see for Vader. I don't know. I mean, you can already do this in Battlefront 2, but a dedicated Vader game where Vader is the one and only focus? Perhaps that's too far. I'm not sure. You have to wonder. They obviously had a reason for creating a new main character in Cal Kestis for Fallen Order, and it's not like they chose a pre-existing character from the films or the Clone Wars for this game. It's a new character on a new adventure. They had a reason for this. So using a pre-existing character like Vader to build a game, perhaps that's not the direction they want to take these characters in. I mean, we saw what happened with the cancelled Darth Maul game. Obviously, there were a lot more factors that went into its cancellation, like the shutdown of LucasArts and all that, but now that I've been through my Vader ideas, I'm starting to think Lucasfilm would want to be careful about using such prominent characters. I like how this started off as being a video about a Darth Vader mod, and now we're just off in a completely different direction. But what do you think? Would you want to see a game where you play as Vader, or do you think they should hold on to characters like Vader for special appearances? Let me know in the comments. And I'm still finding more and more incredible details in Fallen Order, so if you want to catch up on some of the latest, such as the new red lightsaber ignition sound, you know, all the different lightsabers have different ignition sounds, go watch this video here with 10 unique details you possibly missed. And follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and join my Discord for lots more Star Wars and gaming news and discussion. And thanks for watching this. My name's Andrew. I'll catch you soon.
Stay bombastic.